Everybody wanna be bodybuilder, but no one wants these heavy ass weights.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 57 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers, in Seattle, Washington. Every week I talk to my hilarious best friend and hilarious comedian, the one, Josh Watts.
Good evening, shitheads. It's your co-host, Buck Rogers from the 25th century. I am the man that invented Twitter. This is episode 57, which is 24 more than 33. 33 being famously, Scottie Pippen's jersey number. That's a current reference for you. Thank you. I don't know if you saw.
More so than you realize. More so than you realize, because he, Scottie Pippen. I'm sorry to jump in the middle of you, but I want to give you some process. Scottie Pippen and Kevin Durant are beefing on Twitter like as we speak. So like, you actually couldn't be more current. No. Fucking here. Let me just get it out there right quick. So, Scottie Pippen said Kevin Durant doesn't know how to play team ball, right? He can hit all the shots. He's one of the most talented dudes. Can't play team ball, right? Durant then reminded Scottie Pippen that he pouted on the bench one time because they made a play for the great Tony Kukoc and not him, and he didn't go into the game. And then he later said, "Oh yeah, you're the same dude that didn't rehab his knee in the offseason because you didn't want to ruin your summer." So AD kind of went at him pretty hard.
I'm gonna tell you what, I love the Bulls. I love Scottie Pippen. I love them all. But I'll tell you what, right now, Mr. Pippen, you keep Tony Kukoc's name out your goddamn mouth. I'm gonna tell you.
Don't you ever forget.
Nothing
when they run
respect.
a play. When they run a play for Tony Kukoc, you say thank you. Okay,
you say,
and you get in there.
Thank you for letting me sit front row and witness this mastery put on by the Cooch. All right? God damn.
I'll set a screen. Of course I'll set a screen for the Cooch.
Thanks for letting me.
Thank you, Phil Jackson.
The opportunity. The Croatian sensation, the Cooch, is going to run behind me on the court? Absolutely. It'll be the highlight of my career.
No. So, once again, that's your 90s basketball minute here at Buckets of Duckets. Every week, we check in on your favorite retired 90s basketball stars. We let you know what we think about them. Throw some names up there you don't forget. We pretty much only talk about Tony Kukoc, though. So, it's basically just a weekly update on what's going on with the Croatian sensation.
Next week, though, we find out, we talk about the glove Gary Payton has been feuding with former Seattle Sonics point guard Dana Barros over stepping on his sandals at a barbecue they had at their mom's house, at Peyton's mom, at the Glove's mom house, Mrs. Glove's house.
And I got good sources on that because one time I went to a Mariners game out here and I saw Ken Griffey Jr. throw out the first pitch to Gary Payton. So it's like I kind of know him. You know what I'm saying? So like we got a good scoop on that. We were in the same stadium.
Dana Barros was like a real player. Friends. I had it in my head. I'd had it in my head when I'd play that Tecmo NBA Bowl that if I swapped out, I'd always put Sean Kemp as a point guard because then I could run down the field, down the court, and I'd put Dana Barros in because in my head he shot good even though it was an 8-bit Nintendo game, so it didn't matter. But Dana Barros is my boy. That's why it's going to pain me next week to talk about what the glove had to do to him.
Look,
he busted up.
The glove's not responsible for that.
He's
not responsible for that. Look, that's what happens when you mess with Gary Payton. Okay, we all know that. That man D's people up.
He beat up 8 of Sean Kemp's kids last week.
Sean Kemp, for real, opened a dispensary out here in Seattle.
No shit. Sean Kemp I used to fucking love watching him dunk on people. Sean Kemp was one of my favorites back in the day.
Yeah, you know what did him in was that year that they had the lockout in like 98. Dude, we're just going to spend some time in 90s basketball now.
I'm good with it. I'm good.
They had the lockout in 98. They only played 50 games, and a lot of players thought that they weren't going to have a season. And Sean Kemp showed up very out of shape, like 40 pounds overweight. And he never really got back. Like, that was it for his career, basically.
I remember that. Yeah. He Oliver Millered that son of a bitch. Do you remember Oliver Miller?
Yeah, of course. He's the heaviest man in basketball.
Phoenix Suns. Well, he was. Then Glenn Davis. Oh, big baby! Oh, big baby!
Baton Rouge, baby. Bro, I was watching a video on it was just a basketball video, like a top 10 type thing. And they were just doing nicknames or something like that. And for some reason, maybe it wasn't that, but for whatever reason, they started talking about Big Baby. Oh, I think it was when Kevin Garnett made him cry on the bench that one time. I
don't know that. Whoa, I don't know that story.
Big Baby. Yeah, so Big Baby. All right, well, here, I'll tell you the part that annoyed me, and then I'll tell you that. So they talk about this moment, and then they're like, and that's how he got the nickname Big Baby. And Josh, I hated myself for this. But because I'm from Baton Rouge, and because Big Baby's only like 2 years older than me, our high school, Denham Springs, we used to play University High, and he was Big Baby then. When I was in high school, he was Big Baby. Like, that was a name that his like mother gave him. And I felt like such an asshole, but I couldn't let it go. And I had to leave a YouTube comment like I'm Joey or some fucking loser. And I fucking was like, actually, as somebody from Louisiana who went to high school around the time that he did, I could say he was Big Baby then. And then I just waited for everybody to thank me and like it and go, oh my God, thank you so much for shedding light on this. We'll change it. And nobody cared. Everybody just left my genius.
Really?
Just left it there to sit. Nobody.
Surprising.
I was waiting for the next video to come out for the apology of like, oh my God, we're so sorry about our horrible reporting until we were set straight by a man who's got the greatest podcast of all time. Clearly, you should go check that out. But it didn't happen. They just hating on us like fucking Steve Jobs. So Kevin Garnett was famously very mean on the court.
He was just mean to everybody?
Yeah, he was very intense. And now he was a good teammate.
I don't hate that.
He was a good teammate from what I understand, but he would do fucked up shit. Like he like the stories that came out about his trash talk. So a couple famous ones, Tim Duncan's mother died, and then the next Mother's Day, whenever Garnett he played the Spurs on Mother's Day, he told Tim Duncan Happy Mother's Day. Knowing that his mom had died. Charlie Villanueva.
You said Tim Duncan?
Said it to Tim Duncan. I know you don't. I know you're the one person in the world that doesn't like Tim Duncan.
Fuck you, Tim Duncan. I hope you watch this right now. Fuck you, Tim Duncan.
Tell the world your fucking crazy reason why you don't like Tim Duncan.
I don't remember what I told you it was now.
So now you don't even fucking care? You gave me this long fucking speech about how he ruined David Robinson because now it's like David Robinson needed Tim Duncan to win a championship, and that made you mad for some reason.
For some reason, the fucking Admiral needs help from some water-headed asshole named Tim Duncan. Get the fuck out of here. Tim Duncan looked like he could... fuck. The Admiral didn't need nobody. That was a one-man Navy SEAL team of basketball. If they could have built a fucking team around him, worth the fuck, they'd had a championship on the Admiral, but they didn't. They put that water-headed asshole Tim Duncan in there, and he couldn't do shit for him. Then everybody's like, oh, look, Dave Robinson needed Tim Duncan. Fuck Tim Duncan. Fuck Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan and Reggie Miller could fuck each other up a mountain until the time ends. Fuck them both.
SEAL Team 1. Charlie Villanueva. Charlie Villanueva is a guy who has alopecia, so he has no hair, and he played in the league. And Kevin Garnett called him a cancer patient. Yeah. Let's see. Carmelo Anthony's wife is Lala. She was like an MTV personality.
I remember Lala.
Like Lala. So that's Carmelo Anthony's wife, and Kevin Garnett said that she tasted like Fruit Loops or something like that, and they had to like restrain Melo from trying to beat the fuck out of KG. Got a lot of stuff like that. He's got just a million stories of things like that. So Big Baby is he's a rookie or something, and KG's giving him the tough love, and he's like yelling at him on the bench about something that he fucked up. And he just yelled at him so hard that Big Baby started crying on the bench on national TV, just crying because KG was mean to him. And, already Big Baby before that moment. He was already known as this is Big Baby. And then he cried on national TV.
You can't cry. You can't. Nah, dude, you can't cry because somebody yelled at you. You put a knife in their neck Are you fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you don't cry. You don't cry, big baby. God damn, who are you, Morgan Wright? Get the fuck, what are you talking about? Big baby.
So, you told a story last week.
Oh, man. Chase.
In the world, I think Kevin Garnett would have actually enjoyed the story considering what he told Charlie Villanueva. But yeah, I heard you got some feedback from last week.
Chase, during this last week, I have found out exactly who in my life listens to our podcast and who's currently up to date on it. My wife had a lot of awkward conversations because her coworkers like to listen to our show. So she had a lot of explaining that I'm actually a good person. He's great with kids, though. He loves. He's not a monster.
Are you leaving him at home with the kids? Is he watching the kids right now?
There was I got a lot, and like people that I went to school with that know who I was talking about messaged me to tell me that it's fucked up that I said something about it because he's obviously going through stuff.
Oh, they can get over it. They can get over that part.
So, I got a lot of that, and I got a lot of people like...
Is what he's going through fucking fraud? Is that what he's going through? Is he going through a tough time of trying to
being a lying piece
people?
Of shit? What he's going through is being a lying piece of shit, pretending he has cancer when actually he's just infected with being a shit bug. I'm
sorry that we fucking talk shit about somebody that's using cancer as a way to fucking scheme money. I'm sorry we did. We should have been more fucking sensitive to the goddamn cancer.
Hashtag cancel Buckets of Duckets, huh? Cancel cancer, cancel fake cancer. That's what I say. Hey, how about you hashtag that, you bunch of bitches? How about you hashtag? But dude, people just message me. People just message me his name, like, are you talking about, and they would say his name. And I'm like, oh yeah. People that I never in a million years would think listen to the show. My floor supervisor from the month and a half I worked at Target before Zoe was born listens to our podcast.
What's up, buddy? Target guy. Remember when you caught Josh eating that cheese?
Lady. This is the lady that didn't catch me eating the cheese. She's the one who assigned me to the cheese to help me out. Right? But she's a Christian, and she told me that in the review of the episode. If that tells you anything about what she thought about what I said, she mentioned that she was a Christian.
Yeah.
Look, if somebody is reviewing something that you've done, some content that you've created or something, and they start with, "Look, first off, I love God." I feel like I need to say that
before we enter the rest of this conversation. I just need you to know, Lord and Savior. That's my guy, okay? So...
Chase, people, I could have told the story better, I imagine. Was the general consensus.
I thought people would be upset with you just because of, like, the beginning of it, where it definitely seemed like you were making fun of him for having cancer, or not caring about him for having cancer. Once it twisted around and we found out that he was actually a fraud, that part the whole like, oh, he's clearly going through stuff. Stop being such meanies on that show, Josh. Oh, you're just so mean. Get the fuck out of here. He's obviously fucking trying to get over on people. And if he's doing that scheme, there's other schemes. Okay, there's other stuff that he's done. That's not the first. He wasn't a fucking great person, and then one day decided to fake cancer as like that's gonna be my fucking sticking my toe in some con artist shit. Like
that's not your first move out the gate. Is faking cancer. Nah, dude. I was surprised at how many of the reactions were people being angry that I made them think I was such a horrible piece of shit for so long. And then only
that was what I was angry about.
But then I only kind of relieved it.
Yeah.
But I got more messages about this episode than I ever have anything that we've done on this show, I think. And I was surprised at the ones that were like, well, he has a mental issue and blah. I was like, well, the mental issue isn't brain cancer like he told everybody it was, so he can go fuck himself.
Yeah, also, are you sure he has a mental issue? Did he tell you that he has a mental issue?
This is the first conversation me and you have had in 25 years since high school. I don't give a shit what you think. Why are you listening to my podcast? Don't. Wait till we get on Patreon and pay me for it first. This is fucking crazy. You shouldn't get it for free. If I find out who your internet provider is, Dunzo. Buckets of Duckets, not available in Livingston Parish. But I did get. It was surprising how people had opinions. Chase, people had opinions.
That's the thing about people. That's the thing about them. They're all thinking and can make up their own thoughts. Like, I try to make them think exactly what we think and to see that we're always perfect and right.
Yeah.
But some people don't. They don't always go there.
Ooh, Chase, look, I'm listening to you, and I don't mean to distract, but this is a new shirt, and it's a nice. If you're only listening, I'm wearing a very beautiful purple shirt that's clinging upon my traps.
$30,000 that shirt.
This is only 25,000. This is it was a summer edition.
Gotcha.
But
I got.
I look like it's such a good color purple. I look like if Skeletor got real fucking jacked. Do you see this?
Yeah, dude. If Skeletor glue up, man, look at that glow up on Skeletor. Skeletor been eating right, been pumping weights, got a nice shirt now.
Look at him. He's just doing a podcast with his friends.
Yo, good for Skeletor, man. Good for him. You know?
I thought he had brain cancer, but it turned out.
No, he's fine.
Chase, do you see this picture that I'm pointing at? If you're only listening, if you're listening to the audio version of this, you need to immediately stop what you're doing and go to YouTube and click on Buckets of Duckets, like and subscribe, and then look.
Yeah, subscribe while you're there.
At the picture I'm pointing at, it's a picture of one of the trolls from the 2016 movie, and Zoe colored it for me for Father's Day, and she wrote Zoe on the top and drew a big heart. And when she gave it to me, she said it was because I was the best dada in the world. So the first thing I did was go to the store and buy a frame, and I put it right behind me.
Nice. So
and then that rocket ship she made today at summer camp.
Nice. So obviously she didn't listen to last week's episode.
No, she didn't. Did I talk about it last week? Oh.
No, I'm saying Zoe didn't listen to last week's episode.
Oh, the cancer thing? Oh, she listened to it after she tried to take it down. After she listened to it, she wanted it back. She said,
"Get my picture back.
I don't want my picture associated with that kind of garbage on the internet. You need to get rid of it. Don't bring my name up either."
Take me out of the intro.
I got some other good news, Chase. By the time this comes out, all right, this is Monday. This will be out on Monday. So if you're listening to this on Monday, the Friday previously, like yesterday to you was Sunday and then Saturday. That Friday, I did a show at the station in Baton Rouge. I fucking killed it. I murdered. I headlined a birthday show for me, and Morgan Wright was there. He cried because my set was so good. He came up to me after crying. He couldn't even look me in the eyes afterwards because I did so good. It was amazing. Seth Hartley was there. I had to beat him up. He got way too drunk. I had to beat him up. It was part of my set.
He gets touchy. That's the thing about him. He gets all touchy. And
I didn't like it, so I just started punching him. And I did such a great set there that August 6th and 7th, at Club 337 in Lafayette, Louisiana, Carlos Mencia will be featuring for me in Lafayette at Club 337. 2 shows.
That's
on the 6th.
That's a good get for him. That's a good
shows
get
on
for him.
set. Well, it's not in stone yet. He's Carlos Mencia from Comedy Central and Marin and Mary will be featuring for me. Josh Watts from Buckets of Duckets and Your Dad's Nightmares and Your Mom's Fantasies. At Club 337.
Did you get him to send you a tape?
Yeah, I did. I haven't watched it yet. A lot of people vouched for him, so I just went ahead and said, all right.
Seems like he's a good guy. He's got a good reputation amongst comics, you know.
And so I'm doing a show. I'm featuring for Carlos Mencia August 6th and 7th at Club 337 in Lafayette, Louisiana. I wanted to get on the Shane Gillis is coming to Lafayette. And I asked,
isn't he kind of a shithead, Shane Gillis? Isn't that his thing?
Okay. I don't want this to be Cancer Story Part 2, but yes, I think he is. But that's kind of why I want to meet him. He was the guy that got kicked off of Saturday Night Live because
that's the SNL guy, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, finish the story for people who don't know. My bad.
He got kicked off of Saturday Night Live because some old stuff came up from a podcast he did that was racially insensitive. And a lot of people made the excuse that he's an idiot from Mississippi, so blah, blah. But I'm an idiot from Louisiana, and I don't have any.
No, we just talk about cancer.
Yeah, cancer people can get mad at me, but the Asian community, so far as far as I know, they genuinely love Buckets of Duckets. I think. But afterwards, the way he handled it on Twitter was really funny to me. I thought he was funny. He didn't hide from it. He fired back at people. It seemed funny. And he's done some sketches that I've seen on YouTube and stuff that were pretty funny. And some of his clips of his stand-up are funny. So I wanted to see if it was just... What he said was shitty. I don't remember the exactly what it was, but I remember I was like, oh, it's shitty. But I just wanted to see what he was about. I want to see what he was about. I'm not trying to justify what he said. That's not what I just wanted to see what he was about. He's done some funny sketches and stuff, so I asked to get on the show, and they told me no. It was already booked. They didn't need any more racist white guys. No more big chubby white guys.
And just to be clear, they weren't getting another one in you.
No,
they
no,
on the show already.
No. They just had plenty on the show.
Just every person that's on that show is racist, so just keep that in mind when you go. Every single one.
And then they asked me if I wanted to do the Mencia show. Apparently, and this is weird to me, but he said like not a lot of people wanted to do it. I'm guessing because of the past of the joke thieving and stuff.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So, there's a thing with him. So Mencia, obviously the thing that most people know him from as far as comedians is whenever our Lord and Savior Joe Rogan went up on stage and took comedy back from this thief. He went on stage.
Beat him to death on stage with a kettlebell. He
did.
He took a whole bunch of DMT and beat him to death.
And everybody just pointed and laughed. They just pointed and laughed at him. So for real, Mencia was stealing jokes. It's a known thing. It's not even, you can't even deny it. Motherfucker stealing jokes. He's doing a set at the Comedy Store like fucking 10, 12 years ago. Forever ago. Like maybe 15 years ago now.
I think it was 2009. I think.
I mean, it was after I had started comedy, and we've been doing comedy for 10 years. So, I mean, it was before. Yeah. It was before I started comedy, and so it's at least older than 10 years. Got to be close to 15, somewhere up in there. Right. And so, doing a set. Joe Rogan's also on the show, so he takes that time to go up and tell him that he's a thief. He's stealing people's jokes. Joe Rogan's completely right. He's 100% right, the whole thing. But it fucking blows up. It goes viral like very early on in like the viral YouTube stuff. And now every comedian feels like they have to strongly hate this man forever. Some comedians have decided they're actually not going to write jokes themselves. They're just going to always shit on Carlos Mencia for 20 years. They're just gonna it's just gonna be their personality forever. He stole jokes.
No!
And then Joe Rogan had to go, and then they just use that Joe Rogan fire that they have and hate this man. And then they feel like whenever Carlos Mencia comes to town, that if their open mic ass opens for him, that everybody's going to go, no, you're on the other side of Joe Rogan, and now you're not welcome here anymore. Instead of just being like, hey, I'm going to be performing for 200 people because he sells out every fucking show who don't know who I am, who will now come find me. Yeah, right. Who will now come look me up and will know my comedy. And guess what? You don't have to be best friends with the people you open for. You don't have to know them at all. Years ago, one of my first big shows I ever did was opening for Carlos Mencia. I opened for Mencia at
Holy
the
shit,
Improv.
I totally forgot about that. About that.
It was my very first thing. I was doing comedy for like 9 months. I listened to Mencia on Mark Maron's podcast way back whenever Mark Maron was doing his detective work and was going to make Mencia cry on a podcast and tell the world, apologize to comedy was what he was trying to do. And,
the reason I found Mark Maron's podcast and Joe Rogan's podcast was because of the Mencia thing. I listened to so much podcast about that incident while driving to and from X-ray school.
Whenever I was like, I always wanted to be a comic. I didn't like know it, but I would come home, I'd watch SportsCenter, and I would watch Comedy Central Presents. I'd watch that just over and over again. Carlos Mencia had a very good Comedy Central Presents, or at least 13-year-old Chase thought he did. You know what I'm saying? Mm. And I remember watching it and going, man, I like the way he performs. Because that's the thing. The man is a fucking amazing performer. Like, the dude delivers jokes great. He's just a thief. He's a fucking, which by the way, I guess I'm coming off a little coy on that. Like, he's a piece of shit for it. You don't fucking steal jokes. Like, he's absolutely deserved all the fucking hate that he got. But I always have a problem with the comedian that has made it his personality to hate Carlos Mencia. Like, get the fuck over it. You're not the comedy police. Nobody's looking to you to fucking straighten shit out. Just handle your business, and who gives a fuck what he's doing? You know what I'm saying? And so I listen to, yeah, dude, I'm serious. And so I listen to,
you motherfuckers. Why don't you fucking shut the fuck up?
Yeah, how about you fucking put your head down and do your goddamn work and not worry about the motherfucker that had a Comedy Central show and has had like 8 specials, okay? There's nothing you can do that's gonna affect that dude. Because guess what? Since he fucking got hated by all the comedians, guess what he did? He just goes sells out casinos all over the country because the normal person doesn't fucking care about our comedy bullshit. At all. They don't care.
They don't give a fuck if the joke is told by George Lopez or Carlos Mencia. They're going to laugh. They know that he's a guy that they saw on TV 15 years ago. So they're going to pay tickets and come out and they just want to laugh. They're there waiting to laugh. They're dying to laugh. Hard pussies and wet dicks packed in like fucking sardines. And I'm going to go in there with my blazing axe and I'm going to slay that whole fucking crowd. It is crazy that you wouldn't do that show. I'm not going to be his best friend. He might be a nice guy. I don't even know if he still steals jokes. I don't know. I don't care. Joe Rogan paid me to put a knife in his neck. So that's immediately what I'm going to do when I get into
Cash that check, bro. Cash that check. And stab that neck. Stabbing necks and cash the checks.
It is crazy to me that, like, who gives a shit? Like, nobody is going to... What
he got his
so many.
He got his
so many shows. He sold out so much that the club that other national headliners come to and does one show a night, he has to do 2 a night. Why would you not want to be featured on that show? I'm gonna do 20 minutes before that while they're waiting there, just fucking hard pussies and wet dicks waiting for me, and people don't want. Come on, man. Jesus, I'm gonna go out there and just fucking. And then guess what? This podcast is going to shoot through the fucking roof.
Boom. Giving out stickers at those shows. Maybe.
I plan on it. I'm going to order them. EODs.
So, listening to Marin's trying to make him cry and apologize to comedy daddy Joe Rogan. And he won't do it. He didn't do it the first time. He talks to Al Magical, who's like, you need to fucking go back in. Mark Maron goes back into the second episode. This time he's more fired up and really puts the heat to him, whatever, right? But while I was listening to this, I remembered, like, oh yeah, I used to really like that special, that half-hour special he did. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't know if I'd like it today, but Teenage Chase thought it was funny, right? And so, listening to this, I'm very early in comedy, maybe a couple months. Mencia mentioned something about, hey, young comedians, if you're looking for an opportunity, I don't mind having a bunch of comics open for me. Like, I give up spots, right? And so on Twitter, in like
which is a cool thing to do. Even if he's a shitty person, that's a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
To share that kind of reach with up and coming.
Yeah, and it might have been, I mean, I think he was always doing it, but it might have just been him trying to rehab his thing, whatever. So anyway, I hear that, and I go, and I'm a young, hungry comic, and I go, man, I'm going to shoot this shot. And so I literally, I fucking tweet at Carlos Mencia. This is like 2009. This is very early Twitter. I tweet at Mencia. I guess it wouldn't have been that. It would have been like 2012, because I didn't start comedy until 2011. So it was like somewhere up in there, 2011, 2012.
Early.
I tweet at him, hey, man, let's do you on a podcast. I enjoy your stories. I'm just starting in comedy. Bam. Right? He immediately, like he was waiting for me. Like, we're just best buddies. He immediately fucking writes back, like, anything, any help that you need, let me know, whatever. He DMs me, says, hey, I would love to keep up with you, blah, 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 whatever. I sent him a video of myself, which was at See Beavers. You ever see Beavers?
I do. Was that
That's
Johnny
the type
Rock?
of places. Yeah, it's Johnny Rock show. That's the type of places that I came up performing at. Classy venues like See Beavers, and
you're standing up in the middle of all the tables at Sea Beavers. They're behind you and all around.
I'm on the floor.
Just in the middle. Yeah,
you're on the floor. There's no stage. You're just standing on the floor.
Nah, dude.
And they would do that place would do a weekly competition. I think it was on Sundays, and they would do a competition every week. And the winner of the competition would get $50, and then the next week they got to come back and headline. And I would go down there and win that all the time. I would just go down there and just fucking take that money. And so that was give me them ducats, baby. I got buckets. At that point, my buckets weren't so full. But I was going 50 ducats at a time, you know. And so I sent him that video. Obviously, it's horrible. I'm like 6 months in at this time. I'm performing on like just some, bar room, whatever. Sent it to him. He watches it. He sends me back, hey, I really like this joke. What you should do is next time I'm close and I'm performing at a club, you should come to the show. And I said, okay. And then I looked at his schedule, and he was coming to some casino in like Vinton, Louisiana, or something like a city I never heard of. I don't know, but it was called something Downs Casino, and they like have horse races there and stuff. I forget what it. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about though. Until I was put on the spot, I know exactly what you're talking about. The horse races casino there. Oh,
and so I drive like 3 hours to that show. And I buy a fucking ticket and I go watch Carlos Mencia. Just a hungry. By the way, this is why I don't have fucking sympathy for any of these fucking open mic shits that fucking email me all the time, asking me like advice for them of stuff to do or how I get material or whatever. This is how you fucking do it. You go find where people are doing stuff that you want to do, and you go watch and you go fucking learn. Yeah. Like, that's what it is. You go put yourself out there. So I drive 3 hours. Pay a fucking ticket. Go watch his show. I go stand in the fucking merch line after. Josh, I'm hungry. You can't fucking stop me, right?
You got to get that tummy full.
I'm in the merch line. I buy a fucking CD or something. I take a picture with him. I tell him, hey, man, I'm that guy that you've been talking to on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, oh, he remembered immediately. We talked for a second. And then he was like, look,
he was nice. He was really nice.
He was nice. He was really nice. And he said, dude, I want to see what you do. He was like, I think you're not ready for a place like this, because he was performing in front of like hundreds of people at this almost like theater type. He was like, he was like, I'm going to be in Houston. You should let me know about that. And then he like hooked me up with like his road manager. And then I went to the Houston Improv and did 5 minutes in front of 400 people. And it was like, it was like my early, like, oh, wow. Because the scene that we came up in was always performing for 20 people that may or may not even know that comedy's happening.
Yep.
We've talked about it a million times, the TVs and it just, I never got to see. That was always my problem. And that was the reason why I wanted to move from Louisiana, as much as I love Louisiana, is that I there's just not an example of like where you can go.
Nope.
In Louisiana, there's a little bit more there. I appreciate what Jason's doing. The shows that you're doing, that he's putting on, has at least brought in people. But when we started, nobody was coming to Louisiana to do shows, and they definitely weren't doing the venues that we were doing. You know what I'm saying? And
no, they were not.
But Jason has actually got them coming in and doing like regular venues around town in Lafayette and whatever and all that stuff. And so I went and I did 5 minutes. There was this other dude. I remember him forever. He's still doing comedy. This guy named Raul Sanchez. He's still in the Houston area. And he was another guy that they gave like 5 minutes to at the beginning. And we're sitting there, and dude is I've never seen, like, to this day, I've never seen somebody more nervous than he was. Like, he was freaking the fuck out, like shaking and sweating. He's like, oh. And he's like, hey, man, how did you get this? And I was like, I sent him a message on Twitter, and he said, come out to Houston. and he's like, really? And I was like, yeah. He was like, how long have you been doing it? And I was like, 8-9 months. He's like, what? And I was like, yeah. He had been doing it for like 3 years. It was freaking out like this. He runs away from our conversation, goes throw up, comes back. I was like, dude, I just fucking threw up. I was like, dude, you do. I was like, but this is my first big show. So I'm like, is this what comedians are like? Like, am I weird for not freaking the fuck out like this? Because this dude was like, I throw up before every show. I'm always fucking nervous. And I was like, Jesus, really? Holy fuck. And,
I shit myself for 5 minutes before every show. I just shit. I can't stop it. I can't control it. It just goes.
I got to. here, I'll bring it back to basketball right quick. Bill Russell, famously before, I've said famously for all of my stories tonight. I don't know what that is, but they're all famous. That's what they are. They're world-renowned stories I'm retelling.
Don't you fucking question it, you shit buckets.
How dare you, okay? By the way, no 5 stars review on Apple Podcasts this week. Don't think I didn't fucking forget that. So get on your fucking shit. Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. YouTube, subscribe. We put pressure on you, YouTube. Subscribe. We gotta get to 1,000. We gotta get to 1,000. That's when they give us money, is at 1,000. You understand how many people that is? It's 1,000. Think about 1,000 people. That's so many fucking people.
1,000 fucking people. Think about that.
Yeah, 1,000 anything. You can't handle 1,000 of anything.
God damn, that's one.
So Raul throws up and shits his pants, and it goes up on stage and fucking annihilate. He fucking destroyed. He fucking ripped the shit out. Oh, Bill Russell used to throw up before every game. That's what I was going with that. And Rick Barry used to shit before every game. So there is a precedent set for what Raul Sanchez was doing. Full name, by the way. Message him, say, hey, Chase, that guy you met 10 years ago that you haven't talked to since, but he remembered your name, he's been talking about you shitting your pants before you went on stage. So
he said you cried.
He'll love it. Let him. Yeah, it was part of it. He was crying, shitting, throwing up all at the same time. Just evacuating everything. Just going. Sweats is gross.
Famously,
shitting everywhere. It's I go up, I do my set, my little yucks for 5 minutes. Fucking do really well. I do legit well. Like, I would tell you if I didn't do well. I do well. And I couldn't believe it. And then they asked me if I want to go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, like a month or so later. And I go out there, I do 4 more shows with them. And that was
dude,
where
I'm gonna drop your name immediately. I'm like, I'm best friends with Chase Myers, and he's gonna be like, oh fuck, yes!
That dude. And they didn't give me a place to stay. I slept in my car for 2 days, but I didn't complain. I didn't complain because I wanted to do those shows. I wanted to be in front of a full crowd that paid to see comedy. So I didn't fucking complain that they didn't give me a place. Yeah, and I did those shows. I did well. I remember the one thing that stuck out to me was, back then especially, I was real like kind of to myself and like quiet and awkward and stuff. And I was tired. I was really tired because I wasn't getting very much sleep in my car. And the last night, Mencia asked me if I wanted to go eat with him. And I said no. I think about that all the time. I'm like, why did I say no? That had to have fucking thrown him off. Like, he's like, hey, you want to come out to eat? I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I just told him I was good.
But I did a show opening up for Emo Phillips, and then one of my like idols. And when he got off stage, I said, hey, and then he was doing his merch line, and I left. And like 5 minutes after I left, he took all the comics out and they ate burgers. And he asked where I was, where the other guy was, me being the other guy.
Oh, that's kind of hurt.
And I was driving. You know where I was? I was on the fucking spillway by myself listening to an audiobook, just driving home.
Well, Emo Phillips is asking about you.
I hope he's a nice
other guy. That's you.
That's it. Fucking me. He did tell me my paintings joke was funny. He was in the back of the room when I was doing my set, and I saw him, and I was like, holy fuck, Emo Phillips is watching my set. And then he came up to me when I came off, and he said, stop me. He said, your paintings bit was really, really funny. And I was like, it was the least cool. It was the least cool interaction I've ever had with somebody.
Thank you, Mr. Emo.
Right. And dude, he was so fucking good. Anyway, I hope Mencia is a nice guy. He's never stolen any of my jokes, so I'm not gonna go up there and I'm not gonna fight the comedy fight for you. I'm gonna fucking ride his coattails into however many hundreds of people there. But I tell you what, you know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get up there, I'm gonna murder that crowd. Me and him are gonna become really good friends. And then when he gets up for his set, he's gonna open with one of your jokes. And I'm like, wait a minute. This motherfucker, he's gonna be talking about donuts and not having 50 cents. I'm like, you son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch! I do know. You remember I used to do that water fountain? I used to do that water fountain joke.
Yeah.
That I think I talked about on an episode of here that has actually I've met other comics that do that same joke. So it's either just it's not as brilliant of a joke as I thought it was, or everybody stole from me.
For the first couple of years we did comedy, every single comic who was good at comedy that we talked to told you they wished that was their joke, or like they wanted that joke, or like.
It turned out it could have been theirs.
Yeah, one of them was especially aggressive about it.
Yeah, we had a buddy of I'll put it. We're not saying anything crazy about him, but yeah, Tony Frederick is a New Orleans comic. He's also an actor. He's been a cop in every movie you've ever seen a cop in.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a movie,
he was that cop. You remember that movie? That's him from that movie. So.
I love Tony, man.
Yeah, he's great, but he really romanticized how much he helped me with that joke. Because the actual answer is not at all. Not even a little bit. But he saw me one of the first times I told it. But so the joke was just the premise of, can you imagine if somebody from a third world country saw a water fountain, right? Mm. And how crazy it is. We have so much water, we're just decorating our city with it. When you look at the bottom, oh my God, is there money at the bottom of this fountain, right? That's the whole, it's a great bit. It's such a great bit. Greg Fitzsimmons did it. I know a guy, Mike Evans, that did it, and somebody on Conan did it because people tagged me in it. All after me, by the way. Lane Longyon, our friend, messaged me whenever Greg Fitzsimmons' album came out and said, hey man, Greg's album came out today. He does that water fountain joke, and I had to go listen to it. And it was just, none of us were, it's not like it was word for word, but we all hit on the same idea of like, this is crazy, like, that we just, water fountains or whatever. Can you imagine other countries singing?
To bring it back around, it was also right around the time of the Mencia stuff, so nobody wanted to be even remotely associated with anything that sounded like somebody else's joke.
Yeah, and so I dropped it because I definitely was the lowest there, but it did make me laugh because I got a buddy, Mike Evans. He's in LA now, but he was originally in Seattle, and he was doing it whenever I got here. And I've never told him. I never let him know that that was my joke. So Tony Frederick saw me do that joke very early on, and just basically came up to me telling me how funny he thought it was. And he was like, "Man, I could really help you with that joke. I feel like that's a joke I wish I told. I could fucking get into it." And that's basically what he said. Was he just sat there and said he wished that he wrote that joke and that he could help me with that joke. And then months later,
that was the help.
Yeah, months later, it turned into, I helped him with that joke, man. I definitely helped him. Me and him, we sat down and we just made a pot of coffee, and I was on the computer typing, and Chase was just walking back and forth, just spitting ideas, and that's what we did. And that's not what happened at all. That's not even a little bit of what happened.
I did a show at the house.
Mencia liked that joke. That's why I was talking about it. Mencia.
Oh.
So that if he did steal a joke, it's that joke. Just a heads up. That's the one that he's going to steal. Because he told me I should do an African accent. He told me I should do an African accent whenever I'm the person that's saying that I saw the water, like saw the money for the first time. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Nope, absolutely not. Chase, I will not.
As somebody who just recently angered a lot of people on the internet, I'm going to tell you, that would be a bad move.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this or not. White dudes doing stereotypical African accents doesn't go over well anymore.
I'm not trying to impersonate any other culture or person. No. I'm just a dumb country white boy. That's all I am, and that's all I
can
God fearing. First off, I'm a Christian. Okay, before we go any farther, I love Jesus, but I'm not going to change my voice. This is the voice that Jesus gave me. That's what I'm going to go with.
It's the one he wanted me to have. But anyway, so I'm really pumped to do these Mencia shows. It's 4 shows. It's my first really big outing and shows. But Michelle is starting a new job pretty soon. That is going to be. It's going to allow me to get back into doing all the shows again, because she'll be working a week and then off week, work a week and off week. So I'll be able to do all of the nights again.
Like off a whole week?
Yeah, 7 on, 7 off. So then I'll get to start doing shit.
All right, cool. We gotta stop recording on Thursdays then, because these Thursday recordings kill
me. I fucking hated it.
So what happened? For those of you that don't know, peel back the curtain. We record 1 week on Saturday and then the next week on Thursday, and so it's hard to live enough of a life to talk about for an hour in like the 3 days in between recording.
That's why you got 45 minutes about Carlos Mencia today.
I really tried to stretch out the Mencia stuff because it's kind of what we got. It's kind of what we have. I told a 20-minute story about Mencia just to say that I didn't eat Mexican food with him. That was really the only thing that I'm gonna ask him.
I'm gonna ask him about that South Park show. See what he thinks.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a comic coming up and you have an opportunity to do a show like that, do it. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be associated. Nobody's going to think that you have anything to do with something that comic did 10 years ago. Hold on. We're talking about joke thieves. I'm not saying to go, oh, if they let Bill Cosby out of jail, that you should open for him. It's very different. I'm saying, like, people did not want to do the show because Mencia is seen as a joke thief or did or whatever. But that's dumb because you could get 4 shows in front of a sold-out club for an entire weekend of people that have never heard of you and want to laugh and now will look you up and know your comedy and subscribe to your podcast every week and listen to it.
Yeah, and by the way, like, Josh is not going to be introduced. Like, they're not going to introduce as like, this is Carlos Mencia's favorite fucking person. He loves Josh Watts. Right here, Mencia fucking
Josh said, fuck everybody.
No.
Josh said, you're going to get it over everything.
Everybody. Every single one of them. But no, you're going to get introduced as, hey, this is a guy from Mandeville, Louisiana coming up. Fucking one of our favorites is around or whatever. So the people are going to know, oh, this is like the local guy opening. They're not going to... Now, if it gets to a point to where I could see somebody having conflict with it, if Mencia was like, hey, you should come with me on the road. Because now you are kind of married to him. If it's like...
I would go.
And that's the thing
I would go.
Still probably go.
Yep.
Still probably do it. But I do
go.
Get like I to that degree I understand it a little bit more of maybe not like wanting to be that closely associated because then it is you're traveling with him. You are to some degree a buddy with him. But if it's just he's there for the night, he's there for 2 nights, you better take that fucking money and take that fucking stage time and take that fucking audience. That's the way I always look at it. I every time you're performing for somebody like that, like the chances are those people probably don't come to a lot of comedy shows. They probably haven't seen a lot.
Exactly.
And they're coming out to see the guy from TV, and now you get to be their introduction into, oh, this scene has good comics around. I'm gonna go see this guy. This guy lives around here. I'm gonna go see this guy next time that he's in Lafayette. He's in New Orleans. He's wherever. I'll go see him because I remember when I went to go see my favorite joke stealing comedian from the TV. When I went to go see him, he was up there doing his own material, and it was great. Like, and that's that's your growth. Like, you got to take those opportunities.
But also, for real, where we are in Louisiana, if Carlos Mencia loves me and was like, hey, you want to go on the road with me? I'm going. Because there isn't shit going on around here that's going to get me the same exposure that going on the road and doing a show with... I'll be his best friend. Fuck it. I'll steal jokes for him. I'll beat comics up and take their jokes for Mencia, all right? I've flipped Chase flipped me over during this hour podcast we've just recorded. Fuck you. If you're a comic with a good joke, I'm going to beat you the fuck up and I'm going to take it. It's going to be Carlos's joke. You hear me?
All jokes belong to Carlos. You got to pay up.
All Carlos's jokes, you motherfuckers.
He's just letting you use them, okay? But they all go to him eventually.
That's funny. I could not get over, though, that they, when people don't want to do that show, that was...
I knew that would happen.
That's crazy to me, man.
I knew that would happen because there's a lot of guys with that personality down in Louisiana of, my whole thing is I hate that. I hate fucking joke thieves. Like, yeah, I fucking hate them too. You think I'm excited about some dude out there making money off of somebody else's work? No. But I'm going to try and make money off of him now if he's fucking here,
Exactly. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that Skrilla. I'm gonna get my cheddar. Is that
also? You should go up and do Mencia jokes.
I'm gonna. I didn't want to say that to the beginning, but I am. I'm gonna go up and do his last special. I'm gonna do it.
Fuck, do it. What's he gonna say? You shouldn't steal jokes? Carlos Mencia, tell me I shouldn't steal jokes. Go tweet about it.
My plan was I was going to make sure that they had a second mic hooked up. And the second he was like, once he got real good into a set, I was going to do an exact impression of Joe, like word for word. I was going to steal the speech that Joe Rogan used on him about stealing jokes, and I was going to do it right in front of him. And I was going to video it and send it to Joe. Notice me, Joe!
You got hitters out here, Joe. We ain't forgot. I'm on Carlos Mencia, okay? I'm going to get him.
I remember that. Good Lord.
Yeah, Mencia. That was like his whole fucking... So another thing that's gonna throw you off is Carlos's real name is Ned. So I hope you're ready for that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm glad that you just told me that because if that came, like if I shook his hand and he said, "Oh, hey Ned," I would say, "What?"
Yeah.
What'd you say?
So if it, I can't imagine that he's made his group any smaller. By the way, this is the Mencia hour. I don't know why we're in here. So whenever.
Yeah. God damn. Fuck these Thursday recordings, man. What have we done this week? I was going to talk about keeping a fitness journal, but fuck it. We're talking about Menstelia now.
He brings a crew that like does his merch stuff. Like he's got 2 or 3 people that they sell his merch for him. A guy takes his pictures and everything. And they all will call him Ned, like, because they know, you know what I'm saying? They, like, really know him. So, yeah, it threw me off, too, at first, was they were calling him Ned. And then when he gave me the check, the name of his company is Nedlos, like, combination of Ned and Carlos. So Nedlos LLC paid me, or whatever. But, yeah, it's because he's not actually Mexican. He's from Honduras. And just all of his family is Hispanic, like his cousins and stuff.
I didn't know that.
And, I'm trying to help you give you the best opportunity to go in there and steal his jokes. Okay, at least make him like you first.
So you're gonna tell me all this stuff about Mencia, and then I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that show. I'm not doing the show.
He's from Honduras. His name is Ned. He changed it to Carlos because he's so big in Hispanic culture. He has family that's Mexican and stuff like that. He just happens to be from Honduras.
I'm gonna check, so he better. I'm gonna check. Yeah. Ned.
All right, let's fucking look. We did our 35 minutes on Carlos Mencia. I think we did it.
Can I bitch about this fitness journal, Chase?
Yes, please. Please.
I've been keeping a fitness journal. I'm holding it up so that you can see.
I see it. That's the perks of subscribing on YouTube. You get to see the journal. Okay, 1,000 of you. We need you right now. We need 1 5-star review a week. I need 1,000 motherfuckers on YouTube tomorrow. Okay.
You've got 8 hours.
You've got 8 hours starting now.
Oh, we're not putting this episode up for 4 days, but you've got 8 hours. I've been keeping a fitness journal to try to keep track of all the massive amounts of weight that I'm pushing and pulling to make sure that I'm improving enough. And Chase, I'm a cool guy. I'm a real
one of the coolest. One of the coolest I know.
I wear Vans. Like I got some Adidas. I have a tattoo. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool.
I've seen it.
But Chase, every time I take out my little fucking diary and I start writing my little fucking notes in there, it doesn't feel good. I don't like it at all. I feel like a big fucking Poindexter. Nobody said a goddamn thing about it, but it doesn't feel good.
It's not the right vibe, right? Like, because once you like get done, like once you throw those fucking weights on the ground and they know what happened to them, you know what I'm saying? Once you fucking throw them into the earth.
Once you let what just happened to them sink in,
yeah. And they see it, and now you're all tough, and you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and now you got to sit down and fucking lick your pen and write out some equation
Today,
of what
honestly,
you just did.
I'm not feeling all that.
Dear diary. Not
Dear
my best
workout
day.
journal. Bench press machine was smelly today.
I felt like I could have gave more effort, but you know what? I'm here, and you love me, journal, and
that's all that matters. That I believe in
and
me.
that's all that needs. All right, now I'm gonna go fucking knock out these lat pulls.
But it's been increasing. I've been working out a lot harder. I've started adding some more cardio. And are you familiar with the rowing machine?
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm talking about? All right. I've never used one before. I've always thought they were for idiots. Every time I saw one, I'm like, look at that guy. He's an idiot. It's not a boat, dumbass. What are you doing?
what are you think you're on water? What you think you in a boat?
Ain't no water, you dummy. This is the YMCA. What are you doing? But I got on one the other day because everybody crowds into the ellipticals. And so I got on it, and I am buying one like within the next day or two. It is like the greatest workout thing next to kettlebells that I found recently. That's not just deadlifts. Yeah, I really like it. It's a good exercise that I could do for a while, and I get real sweaty, which makes me feel like I did something. And I had to write it down. I got fucking pages of rowing for this long at this fucking resistance. And I don't like keeping a fitness journal. I've had to start keeping track of what I'm eating in an app. But there's nothing fucking dumber than having to go, oh, today I did type in that fucking shit. Bro, I chased down a bison and I killed it with my bare hands. And I cooked the meat over an open fire that I started from nothing. And then I had to take my phone out and type that into an app to find out exactly how many macronutrients were in the bison that I murdered and ate.
I think I'm in shape. All right, app. I don't think I explained anything.
Well, I caught it and killed it, so I think I'm doing all right.
Yeah. So how many calories did that burn, huh?
Oh, man. I started out. Let's see what the other one was. Oh, overnight oats. Have you ever heard of overnight oats?
No.
I'm not real good with breakfast. I don't like breakfast at all. I usually just work out and then eat an hour after I work out. Like I drink a protein shake after, but I go all morning empty stomach. And I wanted to, oh man, this is Mencia and then diet talk, guys. This is it. And then I realized I could probably lift more weight if I ate more. And I found out about overnight oats. Okay. And I went and bought these mason jars, and you put Greek yogurt, almond milk, plain oats, like oats out of a thing, a cup of oats in there. And then I use maple protein syrup and then protein powder. Put the lid on it, shake it up, and set it in the fridge overnight. And then the next morning, it's like congealed into just a mess of shit that is not. It's not good. It doesn't taste good. It's not great, but it makes you feel
selling
good.
It well.
And the week or two I've been doing it, like my weight has increased way more than it did before. This nobody cares about this. I don't know why I'm telling you.
No, man, this is
eat overnight oats, you weak bitches. It'll make you stronger, and you'll push and pull more fucking weights. Get off your ass and make some overnight oats and put some fucking weights, you pansies.
Health is wealth. Okay, that's what we doing around here. Positive messages on Buckets of Duckets. All right. Open for joke thieves and fucking lift a weight. All right. Eat a goddamn oat and see what happens to your life.
See what happens.
See what happens. Yeah, ain't nobody ever regretted eating an oat. I guarantee you that.
Not one time.
Guarantee you that.
I did.
It's actually I hate it. I really hate it. So it's in the 90s over here, which is hell for people in Seattle. Yeah,
y'all don't have air conditioner.
That's exactly where I'm going, bro.
Nope.
So, so there's a thing that fucking communists made up called global warming, right? And I guess it's happening. I don't know. It seems like it's really happening because people tell me stories.
Oh, because a 13-year-old little girl told you it was happening. It's real. Come on. Give me a fucking break.
She makes a good point, bro. I don't know. And so apparently fucking the year before I moved here, it never got hotter than 75. Apparently, up until I got here, the summers were only 75. You don't need no AC, whatever.
Chase Myers brings the heat.
Who? It's just a fact. It's just a fact at this point. And so every summer I've been here, I've fallen into this trap where I believe the people that have lived here for a while. But I've lived here for 5 years now, so I'm starting to have a say on this. They need air conditioning here. It's fucking crazy, okay? Because it does hit the 90s now. It will hit the 90s for like a week or two here. That's too much. You can't not have AC, and most people don't, right?
75 5? That's too much, dude. I keep this house at 69.
Nice.
Nice. That's 90 degrees without an air conditioner.
Yeah. So that changed my life. So because I'm like, yo, I'm not going home and have a fucking heat stroke in my own bed, okay?
Yeah,
the fuck out of here. I'm going to go in my own house and be uncomfortable? No. So what I'm doing now is I'm planning out activities when I get off work of air-conditioned places is where I'm going. I just walked around Fred Meyer. That's the Walmart of out here. I just walked around Fred Meyer for like 3 hours the other day, just pushing the buggy around. I read every label, every product that they had. I'm just looking into stuff. So the other thing I was like, I remembered, oh yeah, I have a Planet Fitness membership because their whole thing is like, hey, give us like $5 a month and then forget about it for years.
Yep.
And that's how we make money. Because
and then come here and we'll yell at you for dropping the weights.
Yeah. And so, or maybe they'll yell at other people. They ain't yelling at fucking me. And so, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start going to the gym. I've been just doing yoga. I've been just doing yoga. I play basketball. That's my normal workout. I do yoga. I go play basketball. But I do the same like yoga workouts. Like there's only like 3 or 4 of them I do, and I get bored with them. It's hard to do the same thing over and over again. So
there's only 3 yoga workouts. Everybody knows that.
Every week I sit here and I look at a fucking yoked up fucking muscle meat castle right across from me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm nothing to fucking look bad at over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, your boy can get it too. And so I walked into this Planet Fitness and I just had my arms out. I was like, I'm home. I'm back. You guys
home.
You guys been waiting for me. I'm back, baby. Is this the one I signed up at actually? Because I don't remember which one is my. I lost my keychain thing. Do you still? And so I talked to the dude. I'm like, hey man, so I know you guys probably been waiting for me, but I haven't been here in a while. So what's the deal? I don't have. Can you make me another little keychain thing? And I guess in the 2 years that I haven't been there, technology's advanced, and now they do it on an app. And he's like, oh, no. Well, yeah, I guess you haven't been here in a while. Why don't you go ahead and download the Planet Fitness app? And I was like, first off, check your fucking tone. I'll do it if I feel like it. And,
you work at Planet Fitness. Watch your attitude.
Yeah. All right, you're 17. Shut the fuck up. And so I download the app, go through the whole thing so that I can like scan in for him to do it. And I'm like, actually, I was paying for the $20 one. I was paying for the black card one because you get to go in the tanning beds there. And I never fucking once went, but that was what I did. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking pump and I'll get tan and I'll just fucking go get bitches. That's what I'm gonna do. And none of that happened. And so I was like, yo, can we drop it to like the $10 one? And he was like, oh, you want to change your plan? And I was like, yeah, dude. And he's like, do you know when was the last time you were here? And I was like, oh, it's got to be like 2 years because I know for sure I quit coming for a few months before lockdown, and then I haven't been here since lockdown. And so I was like, it's probably close to 2 years. And he goes, why don't you guess? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, we playing a game? He's like, yeah, why don't you guess? I'm like, okay, I'll guess, motherfucker. And so I got all competitive about it. I was like, all right, we're doing this. And so I sat there. I was like, I literally counted out the months. And I was like, okay, I think January of 2019 is probably it. And he was like, oh, December of 2018. I was like, I still fucking win. Okay, I still goddamn win.
You work at Planet Fitness and you're 17, so I win. That's how that.
Yeah, that's how this always works. So hooks me up. Now I'm going into Planet Fitness. I went 2 days in a row. I didn't go today because I gotta give my body some rest. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in there I'm just peacocking everywhere, bro. I'm trying to just be dominant when I walk in. Some dude was like in the mirror, just like fucking doing curls for the girls, and I just stood right in front of him, bro. I just stood right in front.
Stretch in front of him, dude. Yes.
Just got in, dude. Ass to him too. That's the way I did it. Yeah, right at him.
I relate to these power moves. I don't know if you know that or not. I relate.
I do. That's why I'm telling you these. Yeah. So
whenever people leave water bottles standing on the ground too far away from their equipment, I'll go out of my way to accidentally kick it across the gym with my foot when I'm walking by, and then they have to go get it because they're stupid and left it out there.
So this has been my move. I go in and I do yoga first. I still do yoga. I do DDP. just over in the stretching corner. And everybody looks at me because DDP has you do these moves where you just have your arms out straight. And your arms are straight out, and nobody can hear that I'm listening to a workout on my headphones, and they don't know that DDP is like talking to me about extend your arms out, stretch, and I shouldn't be able to slap them because they should be like a fire hose shooting out your arm. He's doing all that before he even like counts down how long you're doing it. So in real time, I'm standing there for like a minute, just dead face looking ahead with my arms straight out.
You got it, DDP!
I'm just doing that, and I'll just own it. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking straight at the people on the ellipticals. I'm just looking them dead in the eyes. I'm not about to look my head down. DDP said, keep your head straight. I'm keeping my head straight, right? And so I do that workout, and then Planet Fitness has that like 30-minute like circuit workout thing where it's like you do every one, whatever. And so I go, and so I did that for 2 days. And Josh, me and you both have this problem of once we get our pump on a little bit, we just can't have sleeves. Just can't have sleeves. And so I just came home and just started ripping sleeves off of everything I had. Like, this is my only shirt with sleeves now. And
there's a reason I'm wearing a brand new shirt today.
Right, yeah. And it's so funny how quickly it went to my head because, like, I left out and I could feel, like, in my arms that I was stronger. Dude, I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to fight people. I just wanted to just give people a little shoulder and see what happens.
Chase, maybe this episode is the Freaky Friday episode. That's how I live my life every fucking day.
I know. I'm gonna go fight my neighbors. I'm gonna find. All right, you got a firefighter, so I can't. Look, we've been shitting on Mencia, so I can't steal that.
Oh, they're teaming up on me. They're teaming up against me in the gym.
Really?
Yeah, do you remember I told you I talked shit to I was fucking with those teenagers. Did I tell you about that? The teenagers that work out. All right. There's this group of teenagers because it's summertime now, and it's these 3 teen guys that are in the gym at the same time that I'm there usually in the mornings. And the other day they were. You can't just sit on equipment you're not using. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't just sit on equipment if you're not using it. Go fucking sit on a seat outside of the gym. It's insane. And you can't use multiple pieces of equipment. Like, if all 3 of you are over here using the shoulder press, you can't tell me that I can't use the lat pull down. Which, I walked over, nobody was using it. The lat pull down is one of my favorites. I do a couple exercises on the machine, so I was pretty excited to get to it. I hooked up the weight, and a kid walked over from the other side of the gym. Like 15, 16, walked over and told me, we're using this. And I looked, and they were all 3 over there still lifting, and I said, okay.
It seemed like it.
And then I just used it, because they never even came back, like, they weren't waiting on me, so I just used the machine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can work in, by the way, if you want to, if you're using it.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Oh, okay.
Not when you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah.
But I like, if they were for real using the equipment and standing right there waiting, I would have been like, oh, all right. But I'm not going to not use this.
No, you can't do that.
You're also not using it. And
look,
they also...
As a fellow person that goes to the gym, I fucking hate that, okay?
Yes. As a fellow person who goes to... Dude, we're going to be the bucket... we're going to become Bucket of Yoked Up Duckets. That's what it's going to be. We're just going to be too fucking big to be in our Zoom.
Yeah, we're not even going to be in the fucking square anymore.
It's just going to be...
You're going to see like a little top part of my titty right there is all going to be focused in because I'm so goddamn huge.
So I don't want to be... I love the gym. It's done just a world of good things for me. So I don't want to chase anybody out of the gym. They're teenagers. Maybe they don't know the rules. So I'm not going to be shitty about it. I just used the machine when I was done. I left. I'm not going to bully them. But they leave their water bottles out all over the place. Or, yeah. They're like, but it's just like designing or just plastic bottles of water. And if you leave your water a 1.5 feet out from the machine you're using, I'm going to kick it across the fucking gym. I walk by, and I hit it with my foot, and I'll knock it across the fucking gym. And then, no, they're not going to come ask you to go pick up their water bottle they left in the middle of the floor. And they watch this old man, because early in the morning at the YMCA, it's just old people time. A lot of old people in there getting their old pump on. And these kids watch this old guy set up the bench press, wipe it down, and then he went to get water or something, and they just jumped on and started working out. And like, I walked over there and I said, "Hey, do you think that old guy was putting the weights on for you to use them? Do you think he was racking that up for you?" And they were like, "Oh," and they were kind of shitty about it. And then I don't think. Oh well, and I was like, "Yeah, he was putting those on there because that's why he didn't put the weights on there for you." And they were like, "Oh, we were just gonna try to jump in." I was like, "Yeah, you don't. Get off of it. You got it. Get off of it." And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, get off the fucking machine, man. That guy was using it. You saw him put his weights there. It just doesn't work like that around here." And because he was standing there, he's not going to say anything. He's 112 years old. He's not going to go pick a fight with 3 15-year-olds. I will. I don't.
But you will.
I'll fight 15 of them.
Dude, I can beat the shit out of 30 15-year-olds. For real.
And they were like,
just keep them coming.
Like,
line them up. Right. I'll fucking Jackie Chan every one of those little motherfuckers.
But, bruh, I could do this
for
all
real.
day. Neck snap.
Neck snap. Neck snap. Neck snap. Neck snap.
Cash check.
Just
cash
bodies.
Check, cash check. Cash check.
And stab neck. Oh, I'm sorry. I got my knife out.
And then the next, my friend, there's another guy in there there's only one guy in the gym that I talk to that I actually like, and he's a 50-something-year-old power lifter who just goes in there and just lifts up crazy amount of weight and grunts, and it's fucking awesome. He yelled at him about something too, and the next day he was walking up and he went to go apologize to him. And he told me, "I yelled at those kids the other day," and I was like, "Yeah, I did too." And he's like, "Man, I don't want to chase him out of the gym. I'm going to go tell him I'm sorry." And I was like, "I'm not. I'm not." And then he went over there and he was talking to him. And Chase, I walked up behind him and said, "No, fuck them. You don't owe them an apology." And they all started laughing because they thought I was joking. I wasn't, but they thought I was joking. And Chase, I went with it. I was like, "You know what? We're going to be friendly. I am joking." Ha 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 ha. And now those dudes talk to me every morning. The kids fist bump me every morning when I come in.
Hey,
like,
all right.
Yeah. But in between the day that I yelled at them and the next time that I saw them, they added a fourth workout partner, and it was the fireman. I think he had worked in a set. I think he was working in on a set with them on the bench press. But when I walked in the day after I yelled at them, I came in, and there they were with that little old bitch-ass fireman trying to be best, like they was having a slumber party in the bench press machine. And I walked in.
Oh, that fireman was just loving it. That fireman was just loving having friends.
Look, he looked like a dog rubbing its stink. Just look at these little boys hanging out with me.
I got all the friends.
And I was like, you know what? I don't like these kids anymore. And then when he got up to go get water or something, they started making fun of his socks. And I'm gonna be honest, I think that's half of what made me decide to be cool with them. But I've also been taking ashwagandha root. Have you ever heard of that?
No, man.
It's a natural supplement. It's supposed to be good for muscle recovery and anxiety and stuff. And I've been taking that. I've been listening to self-help books to deal with anger.
Bro, I hate self-help.
I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of them either. So far, all they've done is make me more mad. A couple of them have helped, but
I just have too much of an attitude whenever I fucking read them. Like there was some book that everybody was fucking.
My face the entire time is this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just stank face the whole time. That's what you want me to do.
Be where your feet are. Ugh. That's the one. That's the one I'm listening to now. That's the one I'm listening to now. Be where your feet are. I'll tell you who does. The stupid lady that got $12.99 of my dollars off of Audible.
Right. Her feet are fine. Got fresh paint on them toes. Her feet are doing great.
Those toes are pedicured.
So there was some book a couple years ago that everybody sweared was like the greatest comedy book for if you have fucking writer's block or whatever. I like how I went blank on writer's block. Or it's like, what's it called when you can't think of what it is? It's like a stoppage or something. So I forget what it was, like the art of being an artist is for art people and arts or whatever. It was some stupid shit. And every fucking person, I was listening to comedy podcasts and all the comedians talking about how great it was. Travis was fucking loving it. My roommate, he's 6'9", and it just got up to him and he just thought it was the greatest thing. He's like, hey man, you got to read this. And I was like, okay man, I would love to read something that would maybe open my mind up and allow me to be more free as a writer. And the first 100 pages are just him saying the same thing over and over again about how you got to identify what your problems are. They're keeping you from writing. And I was like, yeah, I fucking know that I have a problem writing. That's why I'm reading your fucking book. I'm here already. I'm at that fucking stage. What are you talking about? I know what happened. Tell me what to do now. I've identified that there's a problem. I'm reading your fucking book you just ripped me off for, and I hated it. And all these comics at one show I was doing or something, they're all talking about it. They're fucking full of shit about how it changed their lives and all kind of stuff. And I just fucking went off about how bullshit it is and how I don't need somebody to tell me how to think or whatever and all kind of stuff. And I was like, plus there's like this George Carlin thing about how self-help's not even a real thing, because if I'm taking the time to read the book, that's just help. That's just fucking help. Like, I'm not helping myself. That's help. That's not self-help. What the fuck is self-help? And so I'm just doing all of that. I fucking hated it. I cleaned up my room a little bit. It's still a fucking mess, but I cleaned up my room a little bit the other day and I found the book and I got all angry again. So it's really funny that you you brought that up.
Chase, they've really helped me. They've helped me a lot. And before, like when I first started working out at the Y, I was 292 or something like that, and I am 265 right now, which is pretty awesome.
Good job, bro.
Yeah, it's a pretty good feeling. It's all gut, like every bit of it. Every bit of the weight I've lost is just my gut. You know how you talked about like you gain right in your neck and your stomach? That's the only place I just get. I probably do on my neck. I wouldn't know because of the beard.
You just wouldn't know, yeah.
My stomach just gets like just out more. Like the rest of me doesn't look all that different, but 265. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't like eating good. A fitness journal is stupid as fuck. What were you just Chase? You were just talking about something I wanted to.
Self-help books and comedy and
I don't know if it's been because of the self-help books, because I've listened to. I go to sleep at night listening to them, and I've listened to several of them. I've also done a couple of, this sounds really bad. I've done a couple of sober days where I've just not done anything. And like, I'm kind of.
You crazy.
Yeah, dude. I'm starting to, I don't know. I think working out is helping a lot, but I'm starting to calm down a little bit, like getting more normal, less confrontational.
We'll see.
Had any.
Luckily, luckily, there's a weekly checkup where we can find out for sure if you're doing okay or not.
Oh shit! I gotta tell this before we go.
Okay.
The worst part is this comes right after I talked about how peaceful I've been. Zoe got sick last week and threw up at summer camp, like an hour after I dropped her off. So I'm in the gym and I didn't hear the phone call to come pick her up. So they called me, didn't get me. They called Michelle and got her work. And her boss, she wasn't at work yet because it was too early. And her boss was like, oh, she's not here yet. But her boss was like, hey, the lady that called me to say Zoe was sick, you could hear kids talking. And she said, y'all need to just shut up. And she's like, I don't know, that seems weird if she's teaching them at a summer camp. And Michelle told me, and Chase, to think that my little angel threw up and some lady I'm paying money to watch her at a summer camp told her to shut up. I can't begin to tell you the rage.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Michelle purposely didn't tell me about it until after I picked Zoe up Friday and brought her home, because then I had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning to come.
She knows who she's married to.
It was a smart move. She does. It was a smart move. But man, I thought about it all weekend. And in your head, you're like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna grab her by her ponytail and I'm gonna slam her face into the desk. Like you have all these like I'm gonna run in, I'm just gonna fucking stunner her right in the fucking stunner, and I'm on DTA. Like yeah, well,
I would say no, you shut up.
I'm gonna take a receipt spindle and stab it in her neck and say, now you shut up, and I'll staple her lips closed. So Monday morning, I bring Zoe in and I say, all right, give her a hug, and she goes and plays, and the lady's sitting right there. And I said, hey, I want to ask you about something. Friday when you called, Friday when Zoe got sick, someone from here called me and left a message because they didn't get me, but then they called my wife's work, a Miss Amanda, and she's like, oh, that's me. I knew it was you. I wanted you to say it was you before we got further into this. I know it was
so you agree that it's you.
I wanted you to say that it was you. And I said, Michelle's boss, my wife's boss, said that the lady, Miss Amanda, who called, that's you. She goes, yeah, I called. She said, oh, she said that when you called, she heard like kids' voices and that she heard you say, y'all need to shut up. And she goes, and I was like, why do you think she would say that? And she goes, I don't think I said that. And I stood there for a minute. She was like, no, that doesn't, I wouldn't. And I said, you don't tell my little daughter to shut up, do you? And I didn't mean to say it. I said it away. She's like, I don't think so. And I'm standing over her sitting in a chair with my arms crossed. And I said, you don't tell my daughter to shut up, do you? And she said, no, I would never say that. And I said, okay, good. And then we kind of like, that awkward, like kind of chuckle. And then Chase, I couldn't help it. I stopped and I said, good, don't. And I just stared at that lady till she looked away. And I went and got in my car and I still was like, I should have slammed her head in the fucking desk. I don't know if she
just had her head out there just waiting to get stunned.
I don't know if she said it or not because I didn't hear what that lady heard. But it seems more likely to me that she said it than Michelle's boss just decided to make that up.
Right.
Unless she listened to the show and wanted us to have good content for this episode. We got inceptioned. Shit!
Shit, is this a dream?
Oh,
am I inside of another dream that is a dream? I will say this: you may actually be a little more peaceful, or you've just you've learned from me a little bit because you've had two stories today where you pulled a move that I definitely would pull, which was do you think that they put those weights on there for you to use? That's a very me type way of handling that. And then why do you think she would say that? That's also a very that is slightly more peaceful than how you would normally go about it.
It's really funny because I was about to say, now my kids are old enough to tell on me if I just scream at them, so I don't just yell at them anymore. I have to actually say things that make sense.
You have to be more tactical now, yeah.
But I've realized since becoming a parent of two toddlers that the way you talk to people is the way that you should talk. Instead of just being like, hey, those fucking weights were there for him, you dumb shits. Like, hey, let's take a minute here. And let's talk this out. Let's see what we all get to. And it works.
I'm just trying to change people's lives, man. I want them to go a changed person after our conversation. I want them to realize what they've done.
What's really funny is one of my self-help books has helped me I helped myself realize that I don't need to teach people a lesson. Was one of the main points of one of the books is like, it's not your job to teach people a lesson that they're wrong. And it is my job. It's 100% my job to teach you assholes how to fucking act. That's dumb. But it did make me think for a second that while yelling and confrontation is also fun, it's sometimes fun to let them get to it themselves.
Yes.
To say that, because there's also a level of condescension when you ask that.
Yes.
Just right. Do you think he put those on there for you? Like, Yeah, it's more fun. It's more fun to
really
do.
Is.
And I've realized now, this might make me more dangerous. I've realized now nothing happens. Nothing ever happens. Nobody wants to fight. Nobody's going to fight. Nobody's going to swing. Nobody wants to do anything. Nothing happens. I can do or say whatever the fuck I want.
See, that's the difference.
And I'll never learn a lesson.
That's what I learned. Is that I learned no lessons. Yeah, that's the difference in what you were doing before. Because before there was a fight and there was punches thrown because you immediately started fighting and throwing punches. That's why. That's why there was.
Yeah.
But
okay.
If you, yeah.
Okay, I guess.
You would see that they were never going to do
about it. I guess if you want to get technical about it, me punching people does consist of starting a fight. Whatever.
I guess. But yeah, it turns out if you actually just let them sit there, nobody wants to do shit.
Yeah, nobody does it. But it's funny that you say that because that's what I thought. I call that the Chase Myers method. I joke about it with Michelle about when I'm talking to the kids. I'm like, now, what did you think was going to happen whenever you... I do that a lot. Like, what did you think was going to happen when you did that? What did you think you could do? And Zoe's like, I thought I could... A literal example of this was Zoe jumped off the stairs and crashed into the floor. And I said, what did you think was going to happen when you jumped? And she had a plastic Target bag, and she said, I was holding it up, and it was supposed to parachute me. And I was like, all right, that's my fault then. That's bad parenting on me. That's not... You had a plan. I didn't teach you enough. You had a plan. I failed you.
Oh, fuck. That's great.
All right. You want to get out of here?
Let's wrap it up. People, you're welcome. We did that for you. We did that for you.
We're the only podcast that spent 45 minutes on Carlos Mencia since 2008.
Yeah. This will probably be our most listened to pod because, he's
going to listen to this right before the show, and then he's going to say, hey, did you think I wouldn't hear that podcast?
Did you think you could name the podcast Mind of Menstelia and I wasn't going to see it? Is that what you thought?
And then I say, you fuck, I made that joke on the podcast. All right, we're out of here.
All right, bucketsofduckets.com, 5-star review. 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thousands of subscribers.
Thousands.
Keep them going.
I'll just edit it in a whole bunch of flashes.
And just do 1,000. 1,000. No, we gotta get paid. We gotta start getting paid on YouTube.
I want some money.
Oh, motherfucking show's called Buckets of Duckets. I got a bucket over here just waiting on something. All right.
I need the duckets in it.
All right. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.